Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're really stepping into something profound, looking at how ancient wisdom, how it helps make sense of our lives right now. We're using excerpts from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, the yoga of knowledge and wisdom. And our goal, our mission, if you like, is to unpack the insights here. See how this chapter acts as a bridge, not just connecting intellectual ideas to actual practice, but linking the different parts of our own experience. We'll get into some big questions, like what is reality actually? Why do we sometimes feel so disconnected? And what paths do people take when they're looking for something deeper? Think of this as, a way to get quickly informed about some really timeless teachings, stuff that can genuinely shift how you see existence itself. Okay, so let's dive right in. Krishna starts off by explaining something absolutely fundamental, doesn't he?
He does. It's this idea of his dual nature, a lower and a higher one.
Right.
And he says these two together, they basically constitute everything around us, everything within us.
That's a pretty radical way to frame things for most of us, thinking about the world and, our place in it.
Absolutely. And what's really striking is how clearly it's laid out. It gives you this framework. So the lower nature that's described as Krishna's material energy, basically the physical universe, everything we sense.
The tangible stuff.
Tangible, yes, but also some subtler things. And it's always changing. It's impermanent by its very nature. And the text actually lists the 8 elements it's made of: earth, water, fire, air, ether.
Ether being like subtle space or vibration.
Exactly, that sort of idea. But then, interestingly, it also includes mind, intelligence, and ego.
Wait, hang on. Our mind, our intelligence, our ego, the me that feels so unique, that's all part of this material, temporary, lower nature.
That's what it says, yeah. It's quite a perspective shift.
It really is, because it's just even our thoughts, our sense of self, they're also subject to change, part of this material flux.
It absolutely points in that direction. Our psychological processes, though subtle, are still tied to that impermanence. But, that immediately brings up the next question, right?
Yeah.
If that's the material side.
What makes it all tick? What animates it?
Precisely. And that's where the higher nature comes in. This is Krishna's spiritual energy. And it consists of the living entities, the individual souls, us. This is the conscious part, the eternal part. It's described as the life principle, the actual essence that sustains the whole universe, gives purpose to the material stuff.
So it's not just philosophical talk, it's explaining why we feel, sometimes mortal and fleeting, but also like there's something deeper, something lasting.
Exactly, because we are essentially both, according to this view, spiritual beings having a material experience.
Wow. Okay, so we're not just the sum of those 8 material bits, we're also this eternal spark animating them. That's powerful. And then Krishna takes it even further, right? He doesn't just describe these natures. He makes this huge declaration about being the source of it all, the underlying reality.
Yeah, he does indeed. It's a very famous passage. He says, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
The pearls on a thread analogy, I love that image.
It's incredibly potent, isn't it? And it really is central to this chapter. You picture a necklace.
You see the separate pearls, all different.
Right. Unique, maybe beautiful on their own. But what holds them together? That thread, often invisible. So the analogy shows how, even though the universe looks so diverse, so separate, different people, different objects, different experiences, our own selves feeling distinct, it's all actually held together. It's pervaded by the divine.
By Krishna as that thread.
Yes. He's that unifying force connecting everything, the seen and the unseen.
That's a beautiful way to put it. But, for someone just going about their day, caught up in everything, it can be hard to really feel that connection, perceive that invisible thread sometimes. Does the Gita give hints on how to experience that unity, like in everyday life?
It does, thankfully. It doesn't just leave us with abstract ideas. It gives very specific, relatable examples.
Like what?
Well, Krishna is described as the taste of water.
The taste of water?
Yeah, think about it. That pure, essential taste. Universal, vital, before you add anything to it.
Huh, okay.
He's also the light of the sun and moon. The illumination itself that lets us see, experience the world.
Makes sense.
And even the sound in the ether. The subtle vibration that underlies all sound, all communication. For me, thinking of the simple taste of water as divine, it really changes how you see something so basic.
It does make you pause. What other everyday things could you start seeing differently with that lens,
Exactly. It's asking us to look past the surface appearances and notice that common divine essence in everything.
Okay, so if everything is connected by this divine thread, this higher reality, why do we often feel so separate or confused or just plain wrong about things sometimes? That leads us to another big concept, right? Maya. Illusion.
Yes, exactly. This is where it gets really interesting. Krishna introduces Maya, his divine illusion. Now, Maya isn't just some trick. It's described as a powerful energy, and it's made up of the three gunas.
The qualities of material nature. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
That's right. Sattva is goodness, clarity, balance. Rajas is passion, activity, restlessness. And Tamas is ignorance, inertia, darkness.
And these aren't just abstract labels.
No, not at all. They're fundamental energies that shape our moods, our actions, how we experience everything. Think of Sattva like that feeling of peace and clarity. Rajas is that driving energy when you're working hard or really want something. Tamas is that feeling of sluggishness or confusion.
Okay, I can see that.
So Maya, working through these gunas, kind of veils our perception. It stops most beings from seeing Krishna as the unchanging eternal reality behind the material world.
Like wearing colored glasses. They make the world look vibrant maybe, but they distort the true colors.
That's a great way to put it, yes. They filter our reality.
So it's like a fundamental operating system for the material world. Keeps us engaged, but also distracted from the bigger picture.
You could say that. Yeah.
So the big question then is there a way out? Can we pierce through this illusion, take off the glasses, so to speak?
Yes. And the Gita presents the solution quite clearly. It's not necessarily about fighting it head-on. Krishna says that those who surrender to him, they can easily cross beyond this illusion.
Surrender. So letting go of that tight grip on controlling everything, maybe. Turning towards the divine.
That's the essence of it. When you shift your focus and reliance in that way, Maya's hold lessens.
That makes you think, doesn't it? How might understanding Maya change how you look at your own struggles or desires?
Right. It suggests that maybe some things we chase so hard or fight against so much are actually products of this illusionary energy, pulling us away from something more real, more lasting.
It's fascinating then how the chapter goes on to categorize people based on, well, their relationship with the divine. It feels like an acknowledgement of all the different ways we approach these big questions.
It really does. It shows a deep understanding of human motivation. Krishna talks about 4 types of devotees who come to him.
Okay, what are they?
First, the distressed. These are people turning to God because they're suffering, looking for relief, for help. A very common starting point for many.
Understandable.
Then, the curious. The seekers of knowledge. They want to understand how the universe works, the nature of reality, driven by, intellectual seeking.
The thinkers.
Exactly. Third, the seekers of wealth. People praying for material things, success, prosperity in this world.
Also very common.
Absolutely. And finally, the 4th type, the wise. These are the ones who've realized the divine nature of things. They engage in devotion just for its own sake, out of pure love and understanding, not asking for anything.
And Krishna says this last type, the wise, they're the most dear to him.
Yes, he does. It emphasizes that devotion which is free from ulterior material motives.
That makes sense. But for those of us who might find ourselves in the distressed or seeking wealth categories, does the Gita suggest, like, a path forward? Or is it just describing where people are?
I think it implies a journey. Someone might start out distressed, find some comfort, then maybe become curious about the why behind it all.
And that curiosity could lead to deeper knowledge and eventually wisdom.
Potentially, yes. The Gita provides wisdom applicable at each stage. And speaking of different approaches, the chapter also touches on worshiping other deities, which is a really important point.
Right. What does it say about that?
Well, Krishna explains that people whose minds are drawn to material desires might worship other gods or demigods to get specific, temporary results.
Things related to worldly success or comfort.
Exactly. And interestingly, the text says that even in those cases, it's ultimately Krishna who grants the faith that person has in that deity. And he's the one who fulfills those desires through that deity.
Oh, okay. So he's still the source of the outcome.
Yes, but, and this is the crucial part, the results obtained are explicitly called temporary.
Like building a sandcastle. Nice for a bit, satisfies an immediate urge, but it won't last.
That's a perfect analogy. It provides immediate satisfaction, but it's subject to time and change. It gets washed away.
Yeah.
So this view contrasts that temporary gain with the true and ultimate goal. which is knowing and worshiping the Supreme Lord directly.
Which leads to eternal liberation.
Exactly. Something lasting, not fleeting. It really pushes you to think about your own goals, doesn't it?
Yeah. Are you looking for that quick fix, that temporary satisfaction? Or are you aiming for something deeper, more enduring, that goes beyond the ups and downs of the material world?
It's about understanding the difference between a momentary pleasure and a lasting state of fulfillment, a lasting state of being.
Wow. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels like Chapter 7 really marks a shift, doesn't it? Moving from maybe the how-to of action and meditation in earlier parts to this really ultimate philosophical understanding. God is the supreme reality, pervading everything. That thread holding the pearls.
It absolutely does. It's called the Yoga of Knowledge and Wisdom for a reason. It emphasizes that understanding that Jnana and Vijnana is itself a path.
It's not just theory.
No, not at all. It drives home the point that real spiritual life isn't just about knowing the philosophy intellectually. It needs that deep, heartfelt realization, that sense of surrender we talked about.
Experiencing the unity, not just thinking about it.
Precisely. Seeing the divine in the taste of water, like we discussed, or the light, or in the consciousness within yourself and others.
What a journey today, really delving into this timeless wisdom. We've touched on the dual nature of existence, material and spiritual. We looked at Maya, that powerful illusion that shapes things, but can be overcome. And we explored those different paths people take towards the divine, from needing help to pure wisdom. It's just such a rich perspective. So here's a final thought to maybe carry with you. How might that pearls on a thread analogy actually help you? Could it help you reframe things that seem separate? Events in your life, maybe even different people? Could seeing that underlying unity lead you to feel a deeper sense of connection? Knowing that single divine thread runs through it all. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep seeking that thread.